Here we go.
1. We see that there's a wrong to be righted. 2. We know that we are stronger when united.
3. We exercise our right to assemble. 4. That's when the proud and mighty start to tremble.
Just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering. Hey, hey, look this way. This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1. We see that there's a wrong to be righted. 2. We know that we are stronger when united. 3. We exercise our right to assemble. 4. That's when the proud and mighty start to tremble.
Just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering.
Hey, hey, look this way. This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi friends and dear ones. Welcome to Wellspring Wednesday worship service. I was once asked, what is the reach of trust? And the answer is this far. For those of you who have done trust falls, you know that you're being asked to stretch forth and trust that the other person will meet you and catch you. Because anything within this area, I know how to do all by myself quite well. But when I have to stretch beyond, I'm really being asked to trust my friend, my community. And sometimes I'm quite wary of doing that. Except I know that the things that matter most are not just included inside this circle. The things that matter most, like voting, like meeting people and talking about what matters in the community, asks me to stretch out in trust. This is our work, friends. The act of faith and moving forth in trust. Come, let us worship together. Each week for Wellspring Wednesday worship, we ask our Unity families to share their joys and sorrows, concerns, blessings, gifts, and challenges with us over email so that we might bring the real stories of our lives into this place, so that we can celebrate together, so that we can give each other the support and to hold on to one another in love. This week, we asked families with children in the 5th grade of religious education to share with us the joys and sorrows. This from Rose and the Farber Law family. Some of their family's joys and sorrows. Cooking with Daddy is a joy. Carving pumpkins and eating chili with family over Zoom. Discovery of ice on the moon is a definite joy. Some sorrows, that the coronavirus continues to hurt people. Their oldest dog is also feeling sick right now, and they're hoping that the medicine will help her. From the Karras and the Lloyd family, the joy of going to the cabin this week to see her grandparents, and the sorrow of missing being at school with friends. And from Clara, sent by her mom, Kate Sammons. A month ago on the fall equinox, we welcomed a new cousin, Theodore Orion Sammons. At the same time, her great-grandfather's health was rapidly deteriorating, and he passed away on October 6th at the age of 90. This past weekend, the whole family celebrated as her uncle got married, and also celebrated Sister Althea's 8th birthday the very same day. The family is thankful for a wonderful family, for the opportunity to spend time with them because of online schooling. But they're also grateful that gradually they can begin to return to in-person schooling this week. And finally, from Sula and the Krogstad family, sorrows include navigating extended family challenges around pandemic, not being able to meet up in a normal way for Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. But the family's joys include starting new holiday traditions, such as mini bundt cake pumpkin creations for Halloween. Thank you for sharing these joys and sorrows. Will you join in prayer with me? Holy One and Spirit of this beloved community, thank you for the sharing that happens each time that we are together. Thank you for the sharing that reminds us about trusted friends. Thank you for these friendships that we no longer take for granted as we might have before. For these friendships and these acts of trust are moments of life. They remind us of the things that matter most to us. Thank you for friendship's trust. It teaches us that the most important things are not just the triumphs, but that friendships are for sharing vulnerabilities. That friendship is a companionship of vulnerability shared in trust. Thank you for these friends that we see online and maybe in person, but these friendships that remind us that we are bearing witness to one another. We are seeing each other and holding one another with deep trust and understanding. Holy One, we know that our being who we are, our very personhood, grows and deepens when we are held in the embrace of friends, of understanding, and of trust. May these elemental forces abide with us deep in our souls, granting us the embrace and the courage to journey through these days. May it be so, and amen. As I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. I have been fortunate throughout most of my life to find it fairly easy to trust. I've trusted my parents, my family, friends, co-workers, leaders, and that has worked well for me. Trust is a good thing. And in this month of trust as a theme, we have told many stories that always come around to how wonderful it is to trust, how important it is to trust, how much more we are when we trust, when we give trust and can be trusted. But you know, I am a white, affluent male, and I am aware that the system I live in works well for me. Trusting in it is logical. And I think about times when I have come up against things that trust seems really dangerous. And it's not that often, but it happens. And I think of other people for whom that ability to just trust because it will work out, that seems insane. That seems illogical. So, racking my brain to think a bit about a story of where trust really feels dangerous, really feels like something I can't do, I actually thought about it a time years ago with my dog. And I was running my dog while I was riding a bike. It's always kind of a dangerous thing, but I have a leash and I have the dog behind me and we're running along the road, getting great exercise. And at one point on this one day, suddenly, I felt the strongest tug on that leash, so hard in fact, that I was pulled off the bike. The bike went rolling forward and I landed hard on my butt. And after a brief moment of just looking around to see that I wasn't going to get hit by a car, I turned back to see my dog standing in front of a grate right next to the curb, a sewer grate. And I gave it a tug, and he would not come. And I realized that he was not going to step on that grate. That grate did not look like it would hold him. And I had to walk him around it. Now, we could think of this. I could think of this as a metaphor for things that we face, that it looks like I can't take that step. It doesn't look safe. I actually had another experience a number of years ago that actually had to do with this exact thing. And what it was as a teacher at my high school, I took a group of kids to see the Lock and Dam on Ford Parkway. Do you know it? The Lock and Dam. It's a really cool place. It's usually open to the public, and at some point I really think you should go see it. It's an amazing sight, right? Because the lock, what the lock itself is how do you get a big boat, a pleasure craft, a yacht, or barges, how do you get them from the top of the dam to the bottom of the dam? Well, it's amazing. But the story's not that, but it's something that you should see. But there's also a dam there, and the water rushes over the dam, and that's an amazing thing to see, and it's a power plant. So I took the kids to see it, and I wanted them to see what it's like to stand at the top of the dam and watch that water rushing over with such power as it plummets down to the lower Mississippi. And the way to get to it is you walk across a walkway that goes over the lock. It's high, it's tall. And I've done it many times. So I was shocked when we came to that walkway and a number of those students said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, what is this? What is this?" And I looked down, and there's a walkway. It's steel. It's a steel grate that you can absolutely see through. But the metal is close. It's strong. It's steel. And I've been on it many, many times. So I'm like, come on, guys. It's a grate. Got to come across it. Well, there were some kids who said, there's not even a floor on that thing. I'm not stepping on that. You're crazy. Is that safe? Are we supposed to be here? Now, my thoughts about this was that, come on, you are
high school kids. You are tough, you are strong, you are bold. You're kidding me, right? You're kidding me that you won't do this. But they wouldn't. And I had to think about that a little bit. But my immediate thoughts was that they were being silly, right? Look, I'm standing on it. And I hopped up and down on it. And I moved through this way and that way. And I said, look, get strong. I even laid down on it. I said, come on, come on. Now with that, a few of those kids did come across it. There were others that said, I'm not doing it. And I thought, what a missed opportunity. They are not going to come over and see the dam just because they're so silly that they can't walk on this. I've thought about that in years since. And I've thought, well, you know what, I grew up walking on docks. My dad was a carpenter and we walked on scaffolding. I helped him put a roof up. In my life, I've had many, many times with many safety nets walking across things like that, and I trusted it. What's the chance they had done that? What's the chance that they had been over the river in any way like that? What did they know about this? Now the kids that came across, I'm thinking about them and thinking, you know what? They all knew me pretty well. They eventually came across, even knowing that this made no sense, because they knew me. And I can think of the ones that came across because a friend of theirs came across. There was something they could believe in. They could say, so if Billy's willing to do it, then I can try it. For others, there was no way we were going to make that step at that time. And it was a missed opportunity. And so I think of this now, and I think of the times that I ask people, trust me. And what am I asking them? It is possible that I am asking them to do something that is totally illogical, that makes no sense, that is dangerous. And what can I do in that? Certainly building trust, but even that's not a given, right? And it doesn't happen just because I say it. What can I do to build that floor, to build that safety? I ask myself, what do I ask for in those situations? Let's be honest. Am I willing to take the steps that feel like they could kill me, that they could hurt me? And I guess I just have to say that I know that we must work to perhaps carry them. At least we need to build a bridge that feels secure, that helps them with that leap. There's a meme out there right now that has to do with, do you trust me? will you trust me? And if you look it up, you'll see it's played out many, many times in many hysterical and hilarious ways. But even in this meme, I think, what does it mean to say, will you trust me? Do you trust me? And I think of our responsibility as we ask for trust. May we work to build that bridge and to consider carrying each other. May it be so.